I'm Corbitt with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, September the 9th, brought to you in part by Livestock Risk Services. Of course, that's Dakota Moss there in the Oklahoma Exchange building down at the Oklahoma City National Stockyards. He heads that up, but look at all these agents that work alongside of him. Find one that you feel comfortable with. They are your LRP specialists. This is what they do all the time. The trajectory of this calf market seems to be flattening out some. So you want to get a hold of your favorite agent there at Livestock Risk Services and check out your protection levels. You want to lock in your price. And yeah, it might cost $8 or $10 $100. That's nothing with this kind of market, guys. Get in there and talk to them. Get more information at livestockriskservices.com. Also, Beaver County Stockyards in Beaver, Oklahoma. Got a big sale here on Tuesday for the regular feeder cattle and calf sale. They have split up now, selling their calves or their cows on Monday. They had 1,120 cows on Monday, so they were kind of wore out from the cow sale. But got 5,500 head of feeder cattle and calves on Tuesday here today. They're going to have 2,800 calves. About 70% of them have got at least one round of shots on them. A lot of them have 2 rounds of shots, but sure 70% will have at least 1 round, and maybe only 10% weaned. I tell you what, a lot of calves coming in unweaned. You can't blame them the way this market is. He said they had some calves come in off the Sneed Pool Ranch there down by Lake Meredith. It was 156 Hereford steers, weigh around 6. Really top genetics, and 62 black and black baldy steers come out of the Stevenson genetic herd there, and really top quality. Got a lot of really top quality, high genetic kind of calves coming in on Tuesday. They got some cattle coming off the XIT ranch there, the Adams deal in southern Kansas, 130 steer calves, extra fancy, and they spend the big bucks on the bulls also. But a lot of strings of calves, up to 100 or so in a string there. So those calves will be under high demand. They'll be really nice. They got 1,200 yearling heifers, most of them weighing 700 to 900 pounds. They got 520 heifers, going to weigh 7.5 to 8.5, coming in on one deal. They got 1,700 yearling steers, most of them weighing 700 to 900 pounds also. They've got 152 coming off the Drummond Ranch out there. They're home raised 900 pounders. Quality will be outstanding. They got another 360 head of 9-weight steers coming in off one deal. Really outstanding offering there at Beaver County Stockyards in Beaver, Oklahoma. I think I'm going to be kind of dropping in there. I'm heading north middle of this week, so I might as well go up and hang out at Beaver during the day on Tuesday and then keep driving north. But get on to DVAuction.com and check out their sale there at Beaver County. Salebarns are noisy, extra noisy. You know, sometimes it's not too bad. If they just got yearlings and they're having a sale, especially if the yard help knows how to handle cattle and they're not screaming and yelling at them all the time. They're just kind of easing around them. Salebarns not too loud, you know. Out in the pens, you just hear them call a pen number once in a while, but it's not too awful bad. But not for the next 6 weeks at least. It'll be longer than that, but it'll be the worst over the next 6 weeks here. The bawling that comes, I mean, these calves coming in right off their mothers, and they've never been to town before. It's strange surroundings, there's strange smells. They've never seen cattle that look like this before, and they're just bawling because they don't know what else to do. But it gets so bad that you can't hear yourself think. Especially one of those barns like they have in Missouri with the tin roof on top. It echoes in there so loud you literally can't hear yourself think. It's stressful for the people working out there. It's sure stressful for the calves. But I don't think I ever remember a time when a higher percentage of the calves were coming in just straight off the cow. And it has everything to do with the market. You know, we've been preaching for the last 30 years, you know, that guys got to get their shots in their calves and they've got to get them weaned. And we used to say 30 days and then 45 days, and now we say 60 days. But when the market is like it is and they're bringing this kind of money, they say, phooey on you. Let them get sick and die at your place. I'm taking them to the sale. And so a lot more of them are getting at least 1 round of shots in them. IBR included there, but some of those, some places not. But it sure pays off to give at least 1 round, if not 2 rounds of shots on there, and make sure everybody knows it. Give them some therapy because they're going to be undergoing a lot of stress there, and it sure helps with that. But my gosh, these cash feeder buyers, feeders and calves, yearlings, all classes, they are still driving this market. Now, some of the big sales were a little bit lower, and it's the first time we've seen a little bit lower for a while, so that might scare some of you. But the market is lower on your direct fed cattle trade. It's been lower on your futures, but these guys that are in the sale barns trying to put cattle together for feed yards and for backgrounders, they're still just flapping cards and trying to get them put together. I mean, you try and talk them out of it, guys. It's the only thing they've done that's made any money for the last year or two. Farmer feeders and backgrounders is getting cattle put together and putting weight on them and selling them. And they couldn't hardly go wrong the last couple of years. So they're going after it. I mean, it's like trying to tell guys, you know, not to go out with the funnest girl in town. You know, everybody's been out with her. Everybody's after her. Let's don't go out with her. Heck with you, I'm going out with her. You're not going to talk me out of it. Everybody wants to get in, and these prices are nosebleed, but they still feel like if they can put the pounds on them cheap enough, they can kind of grow or feed their way out of anything. So the best of luck to them. The futures bounced back a little bit here on Monday. They were down on Friday hard. This futures are kind of going to be screwed up here over the next couple of weeks because a lot of your futures investors are rolling out of October on your live cattle and into December. So that is going to jack with it a little bit there, but they got to keep rolling on. They don't ever want to let that come to a head. They don't know what to do with that. But pretty interesting times right here, and it's coming a little bit earlier than usual. Not into October yet, and we're not seeing the wide temperature swings yet. It's cool in the mornings, but not nearly as cool as it will be in a couple of weeks. But guys might have better luck straightening up calves right now than they will in a month. But I want to talk to you about the Punchy Pick of the Month contest. Dang it, we're working on the month that's going to be coming up before you know it. We can't do that without Great Plains Livestock Consulting. That's on the Kids Corral. They donate a $200 gift certificate to Cavender's Boot City, so we appreciate that, and was able to give the kids something because previous to them coming in, we weren't able to give the kids something. Of course, you got the big prize for the Punchy Pick. That's sponsored by Beaver County Stockyards that I just talked about there in Beaver, Oklahoma. Lots of swag from them. NationalBeefWire, Feeder Flash, and then Fairpiece, the main sponsor there. And they donate a whole case of that Fairpiece calming product there. And it's sure a big deal to win. Bragging rights are worth more than anything, guys. But be thinking about that. You get a picture, be sure and email that picture to punchy@nationalbeefwire.com. Also, I want to talk to you about the Emporia video sale at Emporia Livestock Sales there in Emporia, Kansas. Next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, the 17th at 11 a.m., they're going to be having a video auction there at Emporia Livestock Sales. Going to be featuring bred females and really, really nice quality. They got several lots of, it's all reputation front end kind. A lot of guarantees there, guys. Some of them even delivered to you. Bred heifers and young bred cows there, and you'll know the genetics and the conditions on it, and it'll be really front end, guys. So be thinking about that. A week from Wednesday, here on September the 17th, it'll be on DVAuction.com. Let's talk about your board that happened on Monday. October live cattle futures were down 17 at 235.80. December up 12 at 237.57. Your back months were up 30 cents to up 102. September feeder cattle up $1.12 at 360.95. October was up 127 at 359.17. Your back months on feeder cattle up 85 cents to up 197. So it was mostly positive there. December new crop corn up 3 3/4 cents at 421 3/4. November new crop beans up 6 3/4 cents at 1033 3/4. Kansas City hard red winter wheat for December up 12 cents at 517 1/4. Your weighted average on last week's negotiated fed cattle trade out of your 5 area feeding region totaled 63,100 head. That compared to 42,850 the previous week and 52,600 the same week a year ago. Fat steers and heifers negotiated ranged in price from 238 to 245. There wasn't a whole lot down at the 238, and there wasn't a whole lot up at the 245. It was mostly 242 to 243 in the northern plains and in the southern plains and all parts in between. Your weighted average on live steers was 242.55. That was down 89 cents from the previous week's weighted average. Your dressed sales were ranging from 380 to 387. That was $2 to $5 lower. Dressed steer weighted average in the 5 area was 383.15. So as a whole, your southern plains sold steady to a buck higher at 242 to 243, and the northern plains sold $2 to $3 lower from 242 to 243, and $2 lower dressed at 383. But overall the market was lower because they trade a lot more cattle negotiated in the northern plains than they do the southern plains, but those two came together. Nationwide we sold 73,500 negotiated compared to 59,650 the previous week and 67,600 the same week a year ago. Of that 73,500, about 24% of them were for the 2 to 4 week delivery, and that's about typical there. Negotiated grid sales last week totaled 38,700 head. Forward contracts totaled 13,400 head. And formula sales had a total last week of 206,500. Of your 4 out of 5 areas that we get information from, Iowa sold 28,650 negotiated, big movement for them. Nebraska 22,700, pretty decent. Kansas sold 7,000 negotiated, and Texas sold 4,700. Box beef cutout values were mixed on Monday. Choice cuts down 107 at 409.69. Selects were up 15 cents at 385.34. Slaughter just starting out the week on Monday, pretty light, 106,000. Can't compare because we didn't have a Monday slaughter a week ago, but it was about 8,000 less than the same Monday a year ago. So continuing a really light slaughter. And last week's holiday slaughter on Labor Day a week there, it was the lightest Labor Day slaughter we've had in quite some time in recent memory. So they're just barely, and it makes it hard on your feedlots, makes it hard on them too. They're in the business of selling beef. Where are they going to get it, guys? Talk about what else is going on. Valley Grande Ranch feeders there, and that's in Lodgepole, South Dakota, northern South Dakota. That's the Archbald Brothers there. They specialize in balling calves. They want to grow your balling calves for you. They have redundancy of water systems, electricity, and equipment. It's an ideal location between the western ranches and the Corn Belt. If you want to send them balling calves to them, you just wash your hands of them, hope for the best. Those guys know how to do it a lot better than you do, likely. Send them to them, let them get them weaned, put some weight on them, and then move them out to the Corn Belt for their finishing. But they've been in business since 1965. They can take those ballers and finish them all the way out if you want to stay there, or if you want to go on out to a more commercial feed yard type deal in the Corn Belt, you can do that. But for more information, go to Archbro, for Archbald Brothers, archbro.com. Talk about your feeder cattle market, brought to you by Specialty Risk Insurance. They are working to protect your livelihood. Your real-time index based on an 800-pound cash auction steer put together through DVAuction and NationalBeefWire. It ended the day on Monday, after all your sales had concluded, at $364.84, down $1.57. So, and you see your steer tracker was a little lower than that. That's what happens late in your sales in the fall of the year. Your latest CME cash feeder cattle index, 367.03. I want to tell you about Bowman Livestock Marketing in Bowman, North Dakota. They're our latest addition to our broadcasting family here at DVAuction. They're having a barbecue anniversary special here today on Tuesday, and they've got weigh-ups at 8, yearlings at 11. They're going to have a rollover sale for Quinn Andrews to raise some money right there. They're going to do that at noon, but they've got some awfully nice consignments there. Gene Osby's got 300 heifers in there, be yearlings weighing 8.5 to 9.25, right kind. Ring Hill Ranch has 180 home-raised steers that haven't been implanted yet. That'll be a fancy deal. Leroy Schellenberger's got 175 black heifers there, weighing 7.5 to 8. Really nice yearling special there for their Customer Appreciation Day, and they've got barbecue lunch for you there. I heard they've even got a consignment coming in from Bays Nygaard, and he's probably one of the coolest cowboys in the Northern Plains. Come by pretty honest. I follow him on social media, and he's quite a guy. Let's talk about your big sales that happened on Monday. Of course, Oklahoma City at Oklahoma National Stockyards, big sale for them. Happy for them. 9,400 head. That's like the old Oklahoma City, right? Compared to 2 weeks ago. Feeder steers steady to $4 lower. Steer calves are about steady. Heifer calves $2 to $6 lower. And there were spots as much as 20 on some of them balling calves that didn't have a lot of quality or any story behind them. Just what happens this time of year, guys. It's happening a little early though. Another sale, Joplin Regional Stockyards in Carthage, Missouri there, right on I-44. Had 11,900 head, and it was 2 weeks ago that they had a sale there too. Market was very uneven. Some of the yearlings and the steers on the yearling side were as much as $10 higher, especially on those middleweight yearling cattle that can go back out and graze. Some of the calves were as much as $10 to $15 lower because nobody wants a baller right now, especially if they don't have the best kind of quality. But and all in between, you have 12,000 cattle. You're going to have one for everybody, guys. And the market was very uneven. They had some of the top quotes that we saw anywhere on Monday. So I'm going to give it all to you here. But it was just, as to kind and quality, it was very erratic there. And Joplin was your Superior Steel Sales, home of Superior Standard Handling Equipment stick-out sale of the day. And you look at this automated market report through Cattle Market Central, you see your best tested weights, which is pretty much all of them. That's the way it is at Joplin. They had 590 head of the 4-weight steers, average 450 pounds at 460.17 on your weighted average. 1,106 head of the 5-weight steers, average 557 at 421.61. 1,146 head of 6-weight steers, JRS, average 652. Weighted average price $395.85, guys. That close to $4 a pound. Weighted average on all of those 6 weights. 994 head of the 7-weight steers, average 752 at 371.20. There were 1,863 head of 8-weight feeder steers at Joplin. They averaged 845. Weighted average price $351.72. 1,132 head of the 9 weights, average 936 at 335.09. Look at some of the heifers. 675 head of 4-weight heifers, average 462 at 402.48. 926 head of the 5-weight heifers, average 556 at 377.44. There were 988 head of the 6-weight heifers, the average 659 at 366.10. 703 head of 7-weight heifers, average 748 at 342.79. And 459 head of 8-weight feeder heifers, Joplin Regional Stockyards, averaged 838 with a weighted average price of $324.81. A couple of really stick-out deals I had at Joplin. They can sell them really high. You get the kind and quality in there, guys. They had 51 steers, weighed 730, bring 405. But more impressive was 116 head, 909-pound feeder steers, bring 357.50, and that's in southwest Missouri, guys. Give you some individual quotes from all around. How about straight north of there, a couple of 100 miles? How about Tina Livestock in Tina, Missouri? They sell 78 heifers. These are heifers at a steer price. They weighed 729 and bring 378, and they're going to feed, guys. Callaway Livestock Center in Kingdom City, Missouri sells 71 steers. They weighed 601 at 458. Wow. How about Faith Livestock Auction in Faith, South Dakota? 59 steers weighed 754 in Faith and bring 390. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Monday, and your Macrocin, no BS. Top quote for the day, come out of Aberdeen Livestock Sales in Aberdeen, South Dakota, with 69 steers, weighed 805, 392.75. And that's your feeder flash for Tuesday.